Check one, two. It's a pleasure to be before you today. Just make sure my microphone is working. One, two, three. One, two, three. It's a pleasure to be before you. I'm coming from why is the connection moving kind of strange? Let's see. I'm moving like a robot. So okay, it's okay. I was thinking about the message about what I gave out on I think it is yesterday. I call it Are You Programmed? I call I cited some things pertaining to what I mean by Are You Programmed? We all are programmed in some way or form. We just don't realize it. We may look at it as that just a normal thing that we do, but in essence, we are the one that are programming ourselves. Let me get this microphone working. We are the one that programming ourselves in a way of thinking and believing and not knowing what's going on. So I was thinking the reason why I had this brought this message up. I woke up one morning and are you programmed? Are you programmed? So I wrote down some notes to share uh, the thought that I've been having. And those of you who have not watched my Facebook pop-up thoughts, all of my random spontaneous that I do once in a while. I call myself a spontaneous speaker, writer, author. And I was talking to someone today and we were talking about the contents I upload. 99% of them are live, haven't done much pre-recorded messages. We'll be doing them, but most of them are live. And I thought about the other contents that I saw on other social media, YouTube channels. There's about 10 of them I watch, and they have the same contents, similar titles, similar uh, words, but you saw it on another YouTube channel. My message is different. It is about, someone said today, self-assessment, looking at yourself, analyzing yourself, seeing where you are the problem, evaluating it, recognizing that you do have a problem and you need help. So we at times need to look at ourselves and admit that we have a problem. But then some people don't want to admit that they have a problem. Some people admit that they have no problem or it's the other person's fault. So my contents is about you as an individual. When you begin to look at you and understand you, why you do and say the things you say, then you understand you. Then you can be a blessing to other people that need to know the truth about you. And you can go forth with some greater understanding. I'm trying to adjust my mic. Then you can go forth in some greater understanding about self. So you are programmed. How do you know you are programmed? When you go out to the restaurant, they give you a menu. You give a few moments to look, see what you want. They may come back and say, do you want an appetizer? So I'm going to give you some appetizer pertaining to where I'm coming from. You are programmed when you refuse to research any information. If you are stuck on your Pacific channel, then you are programmed. We need to venture out and look at other news sources to see if what we are thinking and believing is the truth. And we don't do that. We are programmed. We rely on our Pacific news channel and not concerned about the world events all around us, even in our local city. You miss out on talk about politics and religion, and that's fine. That's your choice. You may feel you don't have to educate yourself because you finish school or drop out of school or you're not in that line of work. So you don't educate yourself about what's going around you. And when you hear things, you may say, what news channel you saw it on? Or you may don't even care. That is another example. Are you been programmed? You're looking at things from a racial component, black, white, male, female, not looking at, not looking beyond the skin color. Not realizing by not educating yourself, things that you hear can be harmful. It may appear to be good for your good, but it's not. It's harmful. When we hear things, do we look at things and examine things based on what is in it for us? Who benefits from what we are thinking and believing? What we can get from it? Oh, excuse me. We are programmed. When we refuse to look at things and admit that we have a problem and change our ways, we have been programmed. I always say, you have an opinion, and I have an opinion. We can both be right. We can say agree to disagree and walk off into the sunset. But guess what? We are still programmed. We should seek the ultimate truth, and that is by searching the Word of God to see if what we are hearing is the truth. I got this new microphone, so I'm just testing it out. Some people say, do what I do. I'm sorry, do what I say and don't do what I do. We have seen that in some politicians. Do what I say and not as I do. And then when you complain about what they're doing and you should be doing the same thing, they tell you to shut up, comply, listen, obey me. If you don't, I'm going to pass a law or do something to stop you from doing what you want to do. The very thing that I'm doing that I'm telling you not to do. It's like you telling me not to eat a specific food and you are caught eating the same food that you deny me of, then I complain about your behavior and you tell me to shut up. That doesn't make sense. You've been programmed. Corporations are pushing their belief on people, giving you no choice. Do what I say or lose your job. When you complain, you have no rights. You have no rights. The only right you have is what I allow you. They're acting like they are gods. You must comply. It's a thing that I put on Facebook. They came. They came. It's on my Facebook post. You can look it up. Then they came. And what's about the bad guys, whoever they may be, come to a city or town nearby and begin to do all kind of things. And you just close your eyes, cover your mouth, and you didn't say anything about it because it wasn't affecting you directly. And no one spoke out against anything that's coming or happening in the community. So you don't speak out. Then they came for you, and there was no one left to speak out for you. We should not accept information. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I have a private past law enforcement background. I can give advice based on my experience and the knowledge that I gain in the law enforcement field and point you in the right direction for you to do your own research and hopefully you find the answer. Someone who has never worked in law enforcement only read the book. It's like I said in my Facebook posting. Why should we accept things from people who's not in that profession? But yet people are accepting it. They have been programmed. Do you go to your doctor's office instead of seeing the doctor, the professional doctor that have the degree on the wall? Instead of talking to he or she, you talk to another patient about what you're going through. They say, you need to do this, you need to do that. And you just simply walk out of the office. No. So why is it that we must listen to people who's not in their profession, never worked in their profession, may have a high school diploma, may have a doctorate behind their name, may be in another area expertise because they read a book and what they think and what they hope and what they believe and what they feel should be acceptable over hardcore facts. Facts has become lies and lies have become the truth. We're living in a world, we live in a society where when people speak the truth, they're shut up, are censored. And those who speak lies and untruth are given free rein. God gave you and I our rights. Our rights come from God. There is a God. You can be an atheist. You may not believe in God. You may say, that's your thing, Anthony, and that's fine. But there's a God, and He has set laws. There are consequences in what you and I do and say. So the choice that we make, there's a consequence. When we allow ourselves to be controlled, programmed, then we will follow group thinking, group behavior without even thinking for ourselves. We need to begin to exercise common sense. Common sense. When we listen to things that's being said, I heard the other day, now this is something that makes you go, have I been programmed? It is sad that those who come from foreign countries must show that they have been vaccinated or don't have or be tested before they enter into this country. Okay, that's what the government want them to do. Okay, that's okay. But then in the same breath, those who come across the border illegally don't have to comply to the very thing you're asking people who come in on the airplane to do. Does that make sense? No. But it's being said, it's being acted on, and people who act on it have been programmed. We have a lot of programming people walking around, don't really realize they have been programmed. It's like a boxer getting knocked out, and they take the smelling salt, they wake up. So what happened? You've been knocked out. So they make sure you're not unconscious. There are a lot of individuals walking around has been knocked out and is still awake, and they don't realize it. We live in a society where we must begin to hear the truth. We all are being programmed. Tell a vision that we watch. It said, tell a vision. Who's telling the vision? You or the movie you watch? The movies that come out on the screen, the television shows. What is the central message? What is being said? What is being spoken? What is the unbehind language, unbehind uh, motivation? Just begin to think. Think for yourself. You don't want to follow a group of people like Jim Jones. For those of you who don't know or have not been born back in the day, 2000, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they drink from a glass because it was told if they drink this glass liquid, they all will go to heaven. And that's as much as I can remember. And they drink from the glass and they all died. That's actually happened because they have been programmed. To be programmed is not a rush upon you to get you to do something. A little bits of sweetness. I like that. That benefits me. Give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. And all of a sudden you get knocked out from what you have allowed yourself to be hit with. The lies and truth. This is the truth. Do your homework. Don't be deceived thinking that you know everything. Don't be deceived and say, I don't have to check and do homework and research. Who are you, Anthony, to tell me what I need to do? I'm not anyone. I'm just an individual, one person speaking my God given right to speak, my God given ability to share what He allowed me to share. People in the sound of my voice, begin to examine your behavior, the things you're saying. I'm not saying break the law. I'm not saying injure anyone. I'm saying look at yourself. All my messages that I mentioned, it's about looking at yourself. Are you happy with what you see? What defines you? Does your body, because you look good and your personal face and makeup and body, and that's me? No, that's not you. Your thoughts define you. The thoughts that you think defines you. If you are living in a world of programmed thoughts, you don't know who you are. If someone is saying that I want to change society, I must program the people. I must lie to the people. I must deceive the people. There are good and bad guys out there, but we must recognize who's the good and who's the bad. We need to begin to wake up from being unconscious while walking and say, dead man walking, dead man walking. We must begin to wake up. Hold on. Excuse me. So I'll ask you, I'll leave you with this thought. Are you afraid to examine? Are you afraid to look at yourself and see if you have been programmed in a specific area? And if you do find that area, what are you willing to do? Continue that behavior or simply do what need to be done? Do what need to be done. No one can make us do anything. I have no power to make you do anything. I can give you the information, I just serve you the information like the waiter will bring you your meal and give you the check afterwards. But before they give you the check, they'll say, do you want some dessert? You say, let me look at the menu. I recommend this. We should not be accepting things because people recommend it. We must accept the truth that will set us free from being programmed. We must unprogram ourselves from the self-appointed lies, self-appointed belief, self-imprisonment. We put ourselves in our own prison of thoughts, and we let ourselves out on good behavior sometimes, give ourselves probation, we give ourselves time served, we give ourselves 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We come back out, we're afraid of what we see, we do something and go back into that self-imposed prison. We must begin to look at ourselves and recognize that, wait, this is who I want to be. I want to exercise my God-given right as a human being. I did not create me. I did not create my mama. My mom didn't create her mama, and so forth and so on. I'm black, whatever color you are, male or female. God, you was born in that shape and color. I can't change you. If you have a complaint with your color, your sex, you have been programmed. I would not suggest that you talk to God because you may drop dead. You may not wake up in the morning. We need people in the sound of my voice. Share what you heard with other people. Allow them to hear what you heard. And I'm quite sure no one can say in some form or fashion they have not experienced some form of programming. The messages I give, you always hear me say, we, all of us. I never said you all, and never include me. It touched me first too. We all are living in a world that we must begin to desire truth, righteousness. Are you happy with what you're seeing going on? Can you make a difference if you decide to wake up? We live in the world that some people think that there's nothing wrong. The church, I don't know about the mom and pop churches on the corner. One I'm a part of preaches the truth from A to Z. But the mega churches that we can call by name that you just probably thought of, excuse me. Have you noticed that their messages are not different from what we're experiencing? It's the same old message in a different wrapping. There's no condemnation. There's no opposition to what's going on in the world. They are silent, not saying anything because they're afraid that they will be taken off the air, face a backlash. So they're going along to get along. They are going along to get along. Well-known mega churches, pastors, messages. I haven't heard and I haven't seen. I know one similar speak out, and when he spoke out, the government was against him. Did other churches, mega churches, come to rally behind that individual? No. No. That's his issue. That's his problem. Should not we have a voice, an oppositional voice? If we are being told to blindfold ourselves and trust that we can cross, it's like the chicken crossed the road. Are you going to blindfold yourself and trust me to tell you that you can go out on a major interstate where you live and you can walk out into traffic and not get hit? Will you believe me? You say, no, I'm not doing that. You stupid, you crazy, you fool. I'm not going to do that. And you're right. You're not going to do it because it's foolish and stupid. But guess what you will do? You will do other things that will cause you the same physical, emotional harm in a slow process. We don't get into trouble instantly. We plant the seed, the thought, and then we do it. The thoughts we think define us. The thought that you're thinking right now define the world that you're in. If you are in college, you're in that world. If you're in high school, you're in that world. If you have no job, you're in that world. If you're homeless, you're in that world. If you're in the hospital, you're in that world. If you have whatever type of sickness experiencing, you are in that world. I don't dwell in that world where you live. But we must, bite my tongue, seek the truth to be free from ourselves. We are the one who's causing the problem. We are the one who putting ourselves out there. We are the one selling ourselves. It's like a prostitute on the corner. I'm using it as an analogy to help you understand. We are male and female prostitute selling ourselves for something. Get a promotion, get a raise, get a job, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, children. We may not be out there like a physical prostitute selling our body for sex, which some people do, but we, from time to time, sell ourselves for something, to get something, to get something. When have you done something for someone that did not require they must give you something back? When have you just take, and then you get and don't in return do to others? I'll leave you with this thought, and it's the truth. You don't have to believe me. It's still going to happen. The thoughts you think define who you are. Every choice that we make has a consequence of good and bad. It has nothing to do with I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, or I don't go to church, I don't trust God, God is a black God, God is a white God, I don't believe the Bible. None of that makes a difference. Everything in your home, the car you drive, come with a disclaimer. And some things have a warning tag. Are we to believe that our behaviors, good or bad, does not come with a disclaimer or come with a warning tag? Have you ever recognized or think about when sickness or financial loss or bad things happen to you and you're experiencing bad things? Is it because your ancestors have done something wrong and you experiencing it in your lifetime? Is it because you did something 5 years ago or 10 years ago or mistreat someone, whatever, and you're experiencing the consequences? That is the truth. You may not heard it in this way, but it's the truth. We tend to look, oh, that person did that to me. Oh, that person did. No, is it? Because we should ask. And when we are programmed, we will do that person did it, that person said it, and totally just not even look at self. So the thoughts you think define who you are. The thought that you have come with emotions, come with energy, come with a frequency, come with a vibration. The words you speak can cause you to drop dead. The words that you hear can cause you to drop dead or get sick. So the body that you see yourself look good in is not you. Your thoughts. When you see someone behaving in a certain way, in a certain manner, so why are they acting like that? Why are they saying that? Why are they dressed like that? Why? It's because the thoughts that we think will come out in our behavior, how we dress, how we communicate. You will know what world someone's living in by the thoughts this. You will know what world they're living in by their behavior and the things they say. So I think that I'm given the opportunity to bring forth this message. Are you programmed? Begin to say, I refuse from this day forward to accept things without researching them, without grabbing onto them because it attached to my emotions. To not research, to not do homework, to not look beyond your own self-imposed little world for answers because you are afraid to admit you're wrong, afraid to say, I'm sorry. When we refuse to not even investigate things that we hear, there's a consequence. There's no such thing as sitting on a fence and won't fall off. You're going to fall off to the truth or fall off to the lies. So, brother and sisters, if you like what you heard, share it with your friends and families. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. When I do post something, you know that I'm posting something. Hit a comment. Someone mentioned to me they don't like to comment because if they write a comment, their friend would see that they agree with me, or their friend would see that they think like me, so they don't comment. And that's fine. But allow other people to hear what you heard. My YouTube channel is Thoughts in the AM. If you like what you heard, if you want me to talk about a specific thing, just hit me in the comment. I did that a couple of times. My other channel, Hidden Tears, and my Facebook, Anthony Milton. If you want to be my friend, Anthony Milton on Facebook. YouTube channel, The Hidden Tears. Just hidden tears. He still speaks. Now listen. If you like what you heard, think about it. Accept it, because you will benefit from it. If you want a new beginning in your life, if you're struggling right now, if you're not getting anywhere in your life, if you complacent, if you confused, if you're not satisfied, or you think you're satisfied, or you got a one-mind track and you're only focusing about self, your goal is to be rich, your goal is to get the business. Nothing wrong with that. But always open your mind up to hear something else. It's like a person who's good in the algebra. I mean, they're good in algebra, even calculus. I'm not good and I don't understand it, but they can teach me. But I must first accept that I don't know anything about those two math. And once I do that, then I open myself up to receive what I need. If I refuse to research and only rely on one news source to validate, or certain friends to validate what I'm hearing, I get 10, I get 5, I'm gonna believe the 10, but not the 5. And we live in a world right now where people are expert and never worked in the field because they read a lot of books. They're expert in everything else. And one that gets me is the one I thought about. You have professional people have degrees and their certificate on the wall. And when they speak the truth about anything, cooking or math or teaching or whatever, we are told not to believe them, but believe John Q. Public, who don't even have the paper, because we should believe him. So thank you. Share with your friends. God willing, I'll be back with another message, whatever it may be, because I don't have a list of messages. No, I'm going to do this message. No, I may be sleeping, waking up, riding in the car, doing something. And think of it. All the messages that's on my channel, when you hit the video tab, all are spontaneous. They're all centered on self. That is my contents on my YouTube channel. My messages that I posted are totally different from those that I've seen. You see one version of it on one original channel that brought it out, and the other 9 will copy something similar. Then you have the drama, and you have everybody got their own little niche, and that's fine. That's what they want. That's their bread and butter. That's fine. If I was in the mindset of want to be viral or want to get money and doing it for richness, I would have stopped a long time ago. But that's not my purpose. My purpose is to send out and do what I was born to do. If riches come years from now, then that's fine. If riches don't come, that's still fine. If I touch one person, I've done my job. It's not about the viral videos. Should I do something foolish and dress a certain way or talk a certain way or talk about something that's not true or pretend something exists and happening to get you to come to my channel? No. I'm just going to be straight up with you. All my contents cause you to look at you. And you may be sad by what you see that you did not see. Makeup make you look beautiful on the outside. But when you go home, women, and take that makeup off, how do you look? Have you been programmed to always want to be in your makeup? Have you been programmed to feel that you don't look beautiful without your makeup? Then that's a problem. You should feel good about yourself in the makeup and out of makeup. You must say, that's not me. That's true. There's some people want their makeup and they believe they got to have it on. And some people don't feel they need it. That's fine. Everyone has a choice. But don't rely on one specific thing and everything else around you is obsolete. Be prepared for the unknown. Be prepared. When we educate ourselves, no one can take advantage of us because we educate ourselves. You cannot have an argument, you cannot have a discussion with someone who did not pick up the book on the subject that you're talking about. They're going from their emotions. They're going from what they think, what they feel, what they believe, and what should happen. And you read the book, you got the degree behind your name, you got the job profession behind your name, and you got someone who not even went that route going to tell you must believe them. And yes, a lot of individuals are believing people who say they are expert in a certain field, and they're not an expert in that field. You have rights, God-given rights, that no man can take away from you. You can give it away. Give it away by just simply not exercising your right. To speak the truth is now being told is a lie. To say that 1 + 1 is 2 is a lie. 1 + 3 is 5 is the truth. That's where we're going. If you think about it, we're going. Don't let anyone deceive you to think that this is a problem. It's the thoughts that come from this skin or whatever color, whatever mind, define who that person is. What you listen to, what you do listen to, is it in your best interest? Is it? Find out. Do your homework. Thank you. God willing, I'll be back.